So regular verbs are those for which we need to add ed to get the past tense. Okay, past tense as well as the past participle form. V2 and V3. Okay, V2 is the past tense and V3 is the past participle form. Okay, so if you want to get the past form and the past participle form of a verb, you can just add ed for some words. For some verbs, you can just add ed. Such verbs are called regular verbs. So, for example, you can say play becomes played by adding ed. Visit becomes visited by adding ed. Mix becomes mixed by adding ed. Talk becomes talked by adding ed. Finish becomes finished by adding ed. Walk becomes walked by adding ed. And create becomes created by adding ed. So to get the past form of some verbs, you just need to add ed, and such verbs are called regular verbs. Regular verbs means if you just add ed to the V1 form. V1 is the base form. Play, visit, mix, talk, finish, walk, create. All these are in the V1 form. So by adding ed to the V1 form, you get the V2 and V3 forms. So such verbs are called regular verbs. There are more examples like this. Okay, so you can try writing more examples, or after this session you can try. I will ask each person to tell one regular verb. Okay, so keep in mind, think it and keep in mind. I will ask you towards the end of the class. Okay, now coming to irregular verbs. For irregular verbs, we cannot add ed to get the past form. We cannot add ed. Ed cannot be added to get the past form and the past participle form. Instead of that, the entire spelling itself changes. That is why it is mentioned as change in spelling. For example, you can say cannot be written as said. Say becomes said. S-A-I-D. So here you are not adding ed. You cannot add ed to get the V2 form of say. So here the spelling itself entirely changes. Such verbs are called irregular verbs. Similarly, found becomes find. Actually the order is changed. Find becomes found, because find is the present tense and found is the past tense. So find becomes found. Make becomes made.
Wait,
No. Yes.
no,
Yes.
no, ma'am.
Did you say something?
No, no.
Okay. No changes to new. Draw changes to drew. Win changes to won. And run changes to ran. So here in all these words like say, find, make, know, draw, win and run, for all these words we cannot add ed to get the past tense. We have to change the complete spelling to get the V2 form or the past tense. Such verbs are called irregular verbs. So there are also many irregular verbs that are used in our daily communication. So think of one regular verb and one irregular verb in mind. Okay. After this session, that is towards the last 10 minutes, I will be asking you one example for a regular verb and an irregular verb. Clear? So these are the differences between regular and irregular verbs. So basically a verb is an action word. Any action that is conveyed is called a verb. It is the third part of speech. Then verbs are divided into regular and irregular verbs based on their spellings to get the past tense. Now we are going to look at a new topic. Verbs are again divided into two types. One is action words and the other one is helping verbs. Action verbs and helping verbs. I think last year those who have attended this communication class will know what are meant by helping verbs. How many of you have heard auxiliary or helping verbs? Can you just comment in the chat box? Okay, how many of you know what are helping verbs? Okay, if you don't know the meaning, that's fine. Okay, someone has commented, yes, Niranjana, good morning, Niranjana madam. Neha Oswald, regular verb jump, jumped. Very good, okay. Just now I'm seeing the chat box. Okay, how many of you know what are helping verbs or auxiliary verbs? Have you heard at least? Have you at least heard
Yes,
this word?
ma'am.
Yes, okay. So can you just give a small
Yes,
explanation about
ma'am.
that? Okay, yeah. What is meant by a helping verb?
Ma'am,
What is meant by a helping verb? What is the meaning of that?
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes, Neha.
An auxiliary verb, also called a helping verb, is a verb that is used with another verb or two other verbs in a verb phrase.
Very good. So helping verbs or auxiliary verbs are used with the main verb, right? They are used with the action verbs
Yes.
to add more meaning to the verb, to the main verb. Very good. So there are totally 27 helping verbs. Yes, Praksha?
ma'am, are also active verb, ma'am.
Sorry?
Are also auxiliary verb, ma'am.
Yes, are is an auxiliary verb. There are 27 auxiliary verbs that we will study one by one today. Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah. So, generally, auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs is also called helping verbs. It has two names. Like some people will have one name in the school and one name in the home, right? Similarly, auxiliary verbs is the main name, helping verbs is the nickname. Okay, so helping verbs or auxiliary verbs are those that help the main verb, that help the main verb in the sentence. What are main verbs? Main verbs. What are main verbs?
action words, ma'am.
Action words. Action words.
Action words,
Yes,
ma'am.
action words are only called as main verbs. Action
Yes.
verbs means like walk, talk, come, go, listen, speak, write. All these are called action verbs. They are only again, they are also known as main verbs. Okay, so there are two to three names: main verb, action word, principal verb. All these represent the same type. Okay, so now focusing on helping verbs support the main verb or the action verb. Okay, so now let's see what is an auxiliary verb. An auxiliary verb is used as a helping verb along with the main verb in a sentence to support its meaning and structure. So, an auxiliary verb is used as a helping verb along with the main verb, okay, to support its meaning and structure. It is to support the meaning, it is to give more power to the main verb. It is to enhance the structure of the main verb that we are using auxiliary verbs. An auxiliary verb is also called a helping verb. Okay. Auxiliary verbs are used to alter the tense, mood, or voice of the sentence. Alter. What is meant by alter? ALTER, alter. If you want to do some alteration in your dresses, you will give it to the tailor, right? So what is meant by alter?
மாத்தி அமைக்கிறதா miss?
Change.
Change. Alter is
Change in character.
change. Simple. Change. Okay. So sometimes no, there is a, I just want to tell this. There are two words in English which sometimes create confusion. One is alternate and the other one is alternative. Alternate and alternative. If you refer to some dictionaries, you will find commonly confused words. In that section, you can see some confused sentences. One is alternate and other one is alternative. So alternate means a substitute. I mean, alternate means, I mean, like not a substitute, I'm sorry. Uh, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, alternate days. In Tamil, we say ஒன்று விட்டு ஒன்று. ஒன்று விட்டு ஒன்று. Okay. ஒரு நாள் விட்டு ஒரு நாள். We say like leaving one day in between. Similarly, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, all these are alternate numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, they are another set of alternate numbers. Like you are skipping one in between. That is called alternate. Whereas alternative means a substitute. Alternative means something that is a substitute. For example, if the maths teacher is absent, there is an alternative teacher to come and conduct
Ma'am,
the
so
class. There is an alternative teacher to come and conduct the class. Okay, if the math teacher is, if one math teacher is absent, there is another math teacher who is there to come and conduct the session. Okay, that is called alternative. So similarly here, alter means to change. Okay, alternate and alternative is something different. Okay, just keep that in mind. It is not related to this topic. Here you can see that alter means to change. Yes, Pratika, do you want to tell something?
Mom, I have a doubt. Is
Yeah.
substitution is also called alter?
Alter, no, alter means not to substitute. That is called alternative. That's what I told you now. Alternative is to substitute. For example, I can say that there is no alternative for this person. It means that nobody can replace this person, or there is no one to substitute this person. He is he, or she is she. Whereas alter means again to change. Okay, to do an or to do some alteration. That's what I told. Alter your plan means change your plan. Alter your decision means change your decision. Clear? Okay. So auxiliary verbs are
Ma'am,
used with
sound కొంచెం కేకల మ్యామ్.
Abdiya. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
better.
ma'am.
But no,
Second.
yeah, okay. Kanmani, you can come closer to your mic. Okay.
You can come close to your mic, Kanna. Okay. Okay, fine. So auxiliary verbs are used to alter the tense, mood, or voice of the sentence. So auxiliary verbs are used to change the tense of a sentence. For very simple example, if I say she is drinking water and she was drinking water. In both the sentences, I am using the verb drinking, drinking. Okay, but in the first sentence, it is she is drinking water, and in the second sentence, it is she was drinking water. So, is used in present continuous tense, and was is used in past continuous tense. So, here you can understand that one is in present tense and the other one is in past tense. So, auxiliary verbs is and was are auxiliary verbs. So, they are used to change the tense, that is, alter the tense. Clear? Similarly, it can change the mood of a sentence. Mood is a separate topic that you will study in your higher classes. Okay, there are three types of moods that you will study. Okay, mood means it is like how human beings have different moods. Yes, Ritesh, do you want to tell something? You are raising your hands, Ritesh.
Annapurni, don't give importance to that because they, without knowing,
They
they're
know
touching
that.
something and then
Yes,
it's raising.
yes, they
And
will.
then, so that's, and
Yeah.
children, even if you don't understand this, some part of the class, don't bother. If you attend 2 or 3 times consecutively, you will understand everything. Because this is English through English. It is not English through Tamil or English through Hindi. So little bit difficulty will be there, but never mind. If you attend 2 or 3 classes consecutively, you will understand everything. Okay, carry on, Annapurni.
Okay, so auxiliary verbs are used to change the tense. There are different tenses, right?
There are 12 tenses, ma'am.
12 tenses, very good. Okay, basically there are
Well,
3 tenses, and later it is divided into 4, 4, and 4. Then we get 12 tenses. Okay, so if someone asks you how many tenses are there, 12 is the correct answer, because 3 is okay. Basically, there are 3 tenses, but we again divide it into 4, 4, 4, right? We have studied that in the last year. This year we will again study that, mostly in the next class or in the later class. Okay, so auxiliary verbs can change the tense, mood, or voice of the sentence. Voice means nothing. That is also a separate topic you will learn. One is called active voice and the other one is called passive voice. So what is an active and what is a passive, that also you will be learning after a few sessions. So just for the time being, understand that auxiliary verbs are used for many purposes, and the first and the foremost thing is they are used to change the tense. That is what you have to understand now. Okay, tense is the most important thing. Only after that comes mood and voice. Okay, then there are 27 auxiliary verbs in English. Initially it was 24, and later 3 more verbs were added, and 27 auxiliary verbs are now there in English. And auxiliary verbs never stand alone. Okay, never stand alone in the same case. In most of the cases, they will not be alone. They are always present with the main verb. Like they cannot exist independently in some cases. They will be present only with the main verb. Okay, so can someone read these 5 points for me? Who is willing to read? Okay, Kavini, you can read the 5 points. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. An auxiliary verb is used as a helping verb along with the main verb in a sentence to support its meaning and structure. An auxiliary verb is also called a helping verb. Auxiliary verbs are used to alter the tense, mode, or voice of the sentence. There are 27 auxiliary verbs in English. Auxiliary verbs never stand alone. They are always present with the main verb.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So someone else want to read this? Okay. Pratika, do you want to read this?
Sure,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, Pratika, you can read it.
An auxiliary verb is used to helping verb along with the main verb in a sentence to support its meaning and structure. An auxiliary verb is also called a helping verb. Auxiliary verbs are used to alter the tense, mode, or voice of the sentence. There are 27 auxiliary verbs in English. Auxiliary verbs never stand alone, they're always present with the main verb.
Very good. Okay. Okay, Aradhana, I saw your message. No problem. Okay. So now, let's see what is an auxiliary verb according to Cambridge Dictionary. Cambridge Dictionary is one of the famous dictionary used like Oxford Dictionary. So according to Cambridge Dictionary, what they are telling. An auxiliary verb is a verb that is used with another main verb to form tenses, negatives and questions, question tags and passive voices. Okay. For example, in the sentences, I am listening, are you working, the bill has been paid, you don't like her, do you, etc. Am, are, has been and do are auxiliary verbs. Okay, so this is just an example given by the Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, for example, in the sentence I am listening, am is a helping verb. In the sentence are you working, are is the helping verb. The bill has been paid. So here has been is a helping verb. There are two helping verbs, has and been. Like you don't like her, do you? Here do is a helping verb. So these are the examples for helping verbs. Now we shall check all the helping verbs in a glance. These are the helping verbs. Prakshana, can you read these helping verbs?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must. What is that, ma'am?
Ought to. Ought to.
Ought to, used to, need to, dare, be, been, begin.
Okay. So here you can see is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to, dare, be, been and being. These are the 27 auxiliary verbs. So we have an easy method to learn these verbs. Okay, இப்படியே like no need to study like this itself by heart. Okay, so here you can see the first five verbs. No, you can write it if you are having a notebook. Is, am, are, was, were. These five verbs are called be
Yes.
form verbs. Is, am, are, was, were. From is till were, it is called be form verbs. Be form verbs. Is, am, are, was, were are called be form verbs. Now moving to do, does, and did. Next three. First five are called be form verbs. Now moving to do, does, and did. They are called do form verbs. Do, does, and did. It's called do form verbs. Next is has, have, and had. Has, have, and had. They are called have form verbs. Have form. Please write it. It will be really helpful for you. Okay. or else you cannot study the auxiliary verbs by heart. You must know it by heart. So that's why I'm giving you this order. Is, am, are, was, were, that is one group. Do, does, did is one group. Has, have, had is another group. Now, these are together called primary auxiliaries. Starting from is till had, they are called primary auxiliaries. So, primary auxiliaries are is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had. Along with that, please include that last three, be, been and being also. Be, been and being. So, totally you will have 14 primary auxiliaries. Is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, be, been and being. Totally there are 14 primary auxiliaries. Auxiliary verbs itself are again divided into two as primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. That's what now we are studying. We read 27 auxiliary verbs. Out of that, the first 11 and be, been, being are called primary auxiliaries. Clear? Now starting from can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to. The remaining helping verbs are called modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries. Can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to. They are called modal auxiliaries. So how to study modal auxiliaries easily? There is another trick. Can, first you can learn can. Past tense of can is could. We can say that could is the past tense of can. Similarly, will is the present tense. Past tense of will is would. Then you can learn shall. Should is the past tense of shall. So can, could is thorough. Will, would is thorough. Shall, should is thorough. That's it. Now moving to M, the three M. May, might and must. May, might and must. Here you can see that may and might are related to each other. So you can study them together. I will tell you the relation. May and might are related to each other. Then M, again a word with M, that is must. So that three can be clubbed together and studied. May, might and must. Now moving to the last three. Ought to, used to, need to. Ought to means you must do something. It is equal to must. Ought to means you are obliged to do something, or you must do something, or you are supposed to do something. In that cases you can use ought to. You ought to go to school. You ought to attend the meeting. You ought to write the exam. It means you must write the exam. You must go to school. It is called ought to. Next is used to, and finally need to. Talking about this dare will not come in either primary or model. Dare is neither prime nor model. It will not come in any of the groups. It is just an auxiliary, that's all. Okay, because that is very scarcely used. So no need to consider dare. Fine. So now I repeat: is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, and be, been and being are together called primary auxiliaries. Can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to and need to are called modal auxiliaries. So totally there are 14 primary auxiliaries and 12 modal auxiliaries. You get 26 and plus 1 dare, that is 27. 27 auxiliary verbs are there. Clear? So now we shall check. Now I want to tell you what is the difference between may and might. I will give you two examples. The first one is, it may rain today. It may rain today. And the second one is, it might rain today. Okay, the first one is, it may rain today, and the second one is, it might rain today. Is there any difference in these sentences?
Yes.
Yeah, what's that? What is the difference?
Might refers to the, no, surely it will rain.
May, that is actually for May. May,
Oh,
yeah. Actually, the difference between may and might is may represents a more surety. That is, if I
oh,
tell that it may rain today or she may come today, may stands for a 99% surety. Whereas might is used to show it may rain or may not rain. Either it will rain or it will not rain. It's like a 50-50 chance. Okay, that is the difference between may and might. The meanings are similar, but the what to say, the intensity or the range of surety is different from may and might. If you are using may, if I say that she may pass the exam, it means that I am very much confident and very much sure that she will pass the exam. Whereas if I am saying she might pass the exam, I am not that much confident. If she passes, that's good, or it is also possible that she might fail the exam. Okay, so that is the difference between may and might. Then similarly, but may is not only used for this purpose, we can also use may to ask some permission, like may I come in, may I go to the washroom. All these are again the uses of may. Okay. Then similarly, ought to, as I told, it is similar to must. Okay, you must do it. She must go to school. Similarly, ought to is also used in that context. Used to. Used to is used to show the past habits that you had. Okay, past habits. Every human being will have some past habits that is not present now, or that is no more continued. Ought to is similar like must. Yes, Neha, ought to is very much equal to must. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So here you can see that used to is used to show a past habit that is no longer present. For example, I can say uh, I used to play cricket when I was young. It means that when I was young, I used to play cricket, but now it's no more done. Now it is no more practiced. It's gone. Past habit is past habit. Similarly, I used to smoke. Some people know they smoke, they would be chain smokers, but after a period of time, they will stop that habit. Okay, so such people can tell, I used to smoke during my teenage, or I used to smoke during my youth. When they were young, they used to do all these things, but once they cross 50 years or 60 years, then they will stop all these habits, right? They will be at that time they will be afraid, oh, if I smoke it will affect my health badly. So that is an example. I just want to tell what is the difference between past habit and present habit. Okay. During my childhood, I used to play with kitchen set. A very small example. I have a kitchen set still now. Okay. One is in wood and other one is in steel. Okay. And I still preserve it as a treasure. Okay. And for the during the Navaratri time, we deck up Golu. You have heard it that Bomma Kolu or Bommala Koluve. Okay. So during that time, I set it as part of my antique collections, my antique collections. Okay, so I used to play with kitchen set during my childhood. So that is a past habit. Now I'm not doing that. I don't have time. First of all, if I get time, I will surely play. Okay, very honestly I'm telling, if I get time, I will surely play. So here you can see used to is used to show a past habit. Then need to shows a necessity. I need to complete the homework. I need to buy some fruits. All these are showing some necessity. Okay, so now you can check some questions, list of questions with auxiliary verbs. How to frame questions with auxiliary verbs. Okay, so who is ready to read these questions? Okay, somebody new. Okay, let me call Neha. Can you read the first 10 sentences?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is this your house? Am I looking good? Are you a Malay? Are you a
Malayali.
Malayali?
Malayali.
Malayali? Was it really true? Were they crying? Do you feel sad? Does he know English? Did she come yesterday? Has he gone? Have they arrived? Had they returned?
Very good. Thank you. So here you can see that auxiliary verbs are also used to form questions. Okay. And these questions are called yes or no questions. Why they are called yes or no questions? Any idea? Okay. There are two types of questions. We have already learned that. One is called WH questions, and these are called yes or no questions. Do you know that, Neha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, why? Why are they called yes or no questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, why are they called like that, Rajalakshmi?
Ma'am?
Why they are called yes or no questions?
Because answer coming yes or no.
The answer is either yes or no. Very good. So if I ask, is this your house? You can
இன்னும்
either
புரியல
tell,
மேம்.
you have
Because
to
the
understand.
answer to this,
The answer is either yes or no. Is this your house?
புரியல மேம்.
If I ask like that, Kanna, you please try to
புரியலன்னா
understand.
புரியலன்னா அமைதியா இருங்க. காதுல மட்டும் கேளுங்க. சரியா? ஓகே, கேரி ஆன். கேரி ஆன்.
Okay, so is this your house? So please listen, Kanna. Okay, listen பண்ணுங்க. Please listen. Okay, at that time you will understand. So for the first question, is this your house? So here you can see I'm asking, is this your house? Is this your house? So at that time you will either tell yes or no. If it is your house, you will tell yes. If it is not your house, you will tell no.
no,
Okay. Similarly, am I looking good? If I ask you, am I looking good? Either you will tell yes or you will tell no. Okay. Similarly, are you a Malayali? Okay, though people from Kerala are Malayalis. Okay. So are you a Malayali? If I ask like that, you will tell either yes or no. If you are a Malayali, you will tell yes. If you are not a Malayali, you will tell no. So this is the case for all the questions here. Was it really true? Yes or no? Were they crying? Yes or no? Do you feel sad? Either you can tell yes or no. Similarly, we have all the answers for all these questions as yes or no. Now, who can read the next question? Ajit, can you read? Ajit,
Yes ma'am, I can read.
can you introduce yourself? What's your name?
My name is Ajit ma'am.
Ajit, okay. In which class you are studying?
I am studying 8th standard.
Okay, where are you from?
I am from Amatur ma'am.
Sorry?
Amatur.
Amatur. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, you can read the questions.
Yes ma'am. Can I accompany you? Could you help me please? Will you marry me? Would you like to have some coffee? Shall we go to a movie? Should I tell this to him? May I come in? Might she do that? Ought to? Am I ought to be there? Must he attend the funeral?
Funeral.
Dad, how old is she?
Okay. So here you can see, thank you. So here you can see, can I accompany you? Can I accompany you means, shall I come with you? Or can I come with you? If you are going somewhere, if you are going to the market or shop, if your brother or sister asks you, Anna, can I accompany you? Or Akka, can I accompany you? It means, can I come with you? Okay. Next is, could you help me please? Could you help me please? Will you marry me? Would you like to have some coffee? Shall we go to a movie? Should I tell this to him? Should I tell this to him? Only for this I will give the Tamil explanation. இது நான் அவங்கிட்ட சொல்லணுமா? Should I tell this to him? May I come in? Might she do that? Might she do this is like, will she do that? Next is, am I ought to be there? It means, should I be there? Okay, is it a must? I'm asking, am I ought to be there? Is it a must? Next is, must he attend the funeral? Funeral means the death ceremonies. Okay, if someone dies in a family, there will be some ceremonies that will happen, right? It varies from family to family, from customs to customs, it
yes.
changes, and that's called a funeral. Okay, then dare, how dare is she? என்ன தைரியம் வேணும்? How dare is she? Okay, so now we have a few more sentences. These are not questions, these are normal statements that ends with full stop. Yes, who can read this? Yes, Pratika. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Need to. You need to be careful. Used to. I used to drive a car. B. Let it be there. Been. She had been working in a bank before marriage. Being. It's been too hot.
Very good. So here need to is just like you have to be careful. You need to be careful. Used to is used to show a past habit. I used to drive a car. It means I was having the practice of driving a car but not now. Be, let it be there. Then been, she had been working in a bank before marriage. So that was in a past, that was a past action, something that happened continuously in the past. And being, it's being too hot. It's being too hot in Chennai, it's being too hot in Bangalore. Okay, that's where we use the word being. Now you can see some examples here. Okay, so I have given the examples using is, am, are, was, and were. I have not given examples for all the verbs, only for the first five is, am, are, was, were. Okay, so there are some examples. The first one is using am. I am watching the match. I am watching the match. This is in present continuous tense. That is, that happens continuously. For example, I can say I am teaching English to my students. So that is also in present continuous tense because I am doing that right now. Right now I am teaching you. So that is in present continuous singular. Singular is nothing but I. Okay. Using is, I can say she is having her lunch. She is having her lunch. That is also in present continuous singular. She is singular. She is having her lunch. She is singular, that's why I am using is. Okay, so she is having her lunch. Next is using are. They are going to Dubai. They are going to Dubai. So here they is plural. So I am using are, and they are going to Dubai is also in present continuous tense. Next is was. Sita was drinking water. Sita was drinking water. That's in past continuous tense. Singular. Again singular. Sita is singular. Was drinking water. It is in past continuous. Because is, are, am. These are present. Was and were are in past tense. So Sita was drinking water is in past continuous tense, singular subject. And finally for were we have the children were playing cards. The children were playing cards. That's also in past continuous tense. The children is plural. That's why you are using were. You can't say the children was playing cards. You can only tell the children were playing cards. That's also in past continuous tense, plural. Clear? Any doubts in this section?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
Neha.
ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. Ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay,
No,
fine.
ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Yes. So now
No.
you can see the types of auxiliary verbs. As we told already, auxiliary verbs are again divided into two, primary auxiliary verb and modal auxiliary verb. So primary auxiliary verbs are this one, be verbs, do verbs, have verbs, be, been and being. And the rest of the verbs can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to. The rest of them are modal auxiliary verbs. Okay, so what are be verbs? Can anyone tell what are be verbs? Yes, Ajit.
No.
Yes, Ajit, you can tell what are e verbs? Sorry, be verbs. Ajit, your mic is off. Okay, yeah.
Sorry, ma'am. I can understand you're
Yeah,
talking.
what are the be form verbs? I gave you the list of be form verbs, right? A few minutes back. The
Yes,
first,
ma'am.
yeah, the first five verbs are called be form verbs. What are they? You don't
Ma'am,
remember?
can I tell?
Yes, Neha. Yeah.
Are, am, is, was, were, be,
Very good.
and being.
Yeah, is, am, are, was, were. Only these five are called be verbs. Okay, no need to include be and being because that is separate. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so only is, am, are, was, were. These are the be verbs. Okay, so what are the do verbs? Kavini, can you answer?
Do, does, did.
Very good. Do, does, did. They are called the do form verbs. And what are the have form verbs, Prakshana?
Had, has, have, ma'am.
Has, have, and had. Okay, has, have, and had. And be, been, and been. Okay. So, what is the past tense of can? Niranjana madam, can you answer? What is the past tense of can?
Could, ma'am.
Could. Very good. Okay. And what is the past tense of will?
Would, ma'am. Would.
Okay. And what
Would,
is the
would,
past
would,
tense?
ma'am.
Okay. And what's the
Would,
past
would.
tense of shall?
Would. Should.
Should. Okay.
Should.
Past tense of shall is should. Okay. And there is one more.
Should.
Okay. Okay. Fine. And what is the another word that is very similar to must?
Ought to, ma'am. Ought to, ma'am.
Ought
Ought to.
to.
Ought to. Very good.
Ought
Okay.
to.
What is the modal verb used to show a past habit?
Used to.
Used to. Very good. Very good. Okay. So I think like you are thorough with this
Used
topic
to.
now. Okay. So in the next class, we shall discuss the uses of each modal verb. So each modal verb is used for some particular purpose. For example, should is used to ask for permission, to express opinions, preferences. Likewise, we can use can to show an ability. Could is also used to show a past ability. Okay, so each modal verb has a different use that we will be learning in the next class. So now let me ask you, I already told I want one example for a regular verb and one example for an irregular verb. So are you ready with that? One
Yes, ma'am.
example. Yes, okay. So now let me start with Shanti Krishnan.
Ma'am, actually, my name is Soundarya, ma'am. I'm from Trompet Chengalpattu.
Okay, in which class you are studying?
I'm studying in 8th standard, ma'am.
Okay, da. Okay, so can you give an example for regular and
Yes,
irregular verbs?
yes, ma'am, sure, ma'am. An example for a regular verb is watch, watched, and an example for a irregular verb is catch, caught.
Very good, very good. Watch, watched, and catch caught. Super, very
Yes,
good.
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Very good, Soundarya.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Next is, I will call in the order or that I see on the screen. Yes, Ajit, can you give an example? One example for a regular verb and irregular verb? Not sure? Okay, Neha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Regular verb is open, opened, and irregular verb is forget, forgot.
Very good, very good. Okay. So next is Niranjana ma'am. Niranjana ma'am, your mic is off. You can give one example for a regular and irregular verb.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Called, called, ma'am.
Very
Regular
good.
verb.
Okay.
Irregular verb, say, said.
Say said. Okay, fine. Very good. Next is Pratika. Yeah.
Ma'am, can good for regular verb,
Hmm.
irregular verb ran, ran.
Irregular is correct, but regular, like I think you are not clear with regular. Regular verbs are those for which we add ed. We need ed to form the past tense. So can, could will
Play.
not come, right? For example, open, opened, call, called. So here you are just adding ed to get the past tense. Am I correct?
Play, played.
Play, played.
That
Yeah, see,
one.
your mom is brighter than you, see? Okay. So play, played. Okay. So play, played, like you are just adding ed, right? Can you think of an example like that? It's easy for you, I think. Yeah, you can give any example. Or just have it in mind, I will come back.
Ma'am, color, colored.
That's it. Yeah, color, colored. Fine. You are just adding ed. Okay, play, played, color, colored, watch, watched. All these are examples for regular verbs. Fine. Okay, so next is Prakshana.
Irregular, drink, drank.
Oh, okay, very good.
Ma'am,
Regular,
I have a doubt, ma'am.
Just a minute, Soundarya. I will come back to
Yes,
you.
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Yes, Prakshana. Yeah, drink, drank, and what for irregular? I'm sorry, for regular.
irregular,
Regular, agree, agreed, ma'am.
Agree, agreed. Okay, fine. Agree, agreed. Fine. Yes, Aradhana, I will call in the order, da. Okay, I will call you in the order. Yes, Soundarya, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, is studied is an example for regular verb because it ends with IED.
Yes, it's also an example for a regular verb because there are some verbs for which you need to add I before ed, those that ends with y. Okay, for study, cry, cry, cried, study, studied, right? So you just need to add ied, but it is not very common, right? Only for words that end with y you
Yes,
need
ma'am.
to add ied. So that is also an example for a regular verb. Good question.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, because there are verbs like cry. Then what was your question? Like
Study.
study. So all these are verbs that end with y. So to change that y, you are just cutting that y and you are adding an I. And then again you are doing that ed, right? Okay, fine. So next
Yes,
is
ma'am.
here
Thank you.
Sachin. Yeah, Sachin Patel. Yes.
Decide, decided for regular,
Okay.
and different different for irregular.
I didn't get that irregular one. Can you repeat it?
Different and difference.
Different and difference. No, that is not a verb. Okay, different and difference are not verbs. That is a noun. Okay, the difference or different is a noun. Irregular verbs are actions, hai na? Verbs should be actions. Can you try something? I will come back to you later. Okay. Okay,
Okay,
so
ma'am.
okay. Yes, next is Kavini. Did I ask you? No, right?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Kavini.
Regular verbs, identify, identified,
Okay.
and irregular, go, went.
Very good. Yeah, similarly, identify, it ends in Y. So to change it into identified, you need to cancel that Y and write I. Identified. Okay, it's just like study, studied, cry, cried, etc. Yes, it is Rahul. Rahul, your mic is off.
So, ma'am,
Yes. Yes, can you give an example for regular and irregular verbs?
ma'am, கேட்கல ma'am.
I want one example for regular verb and irregular verb. Okay, so next is Lingavelan. Can you give an example? Lingavelan. Okay, next. Yeah. Yes, Lingavelan, you can give an example. Can you understand?
புரியல ma'am.
புரியலையா? Okay. Regular verbுக்கு irregular verbுக்கும் ஒரு example வேணும். Okay, that's okay. You can come later. That's fine. So, Veeralakshmi.
They can try in the next
Yes,
class.
ma'am.
Veeralakshmi. Yes, I
Yes,
want
ma'am.
please. Yes, please give an example. Yeah. Example is Udagaranam in Tamil. Okay. One example for regular verb and irregular verb.
Ma'am, Rahul, ma'am.
Sorry?
Rahul.
Rahul. You are joined from two phones, huh?
சொல் ma'am.
I called Veeralakshmi. அது எப்படி ரெண்டு பேர் ஒரே ஃபோன்ல இருந்து வருது? I mean ஒரே ஆளு ரெண்டு ஃபோன் எப்படி வருது? ரெண்டு பேர் ஜாயின் பண்றீங்களா? Two people joining. ரெண்டு பேர் இருக்கீங்களாமா? ராகுல் வேற வீரலட்சுமி வேறயா?
ஆமா ma'am.
ஓகே. நான் கேட்ட क्वेश्चन புரிஞ்சுதா? Is my question clear? Regular verb, irregular verb படிச்சோம் இல்லையா? Can you give an example for that?
சொல்ல ma'am.
Okay, you didn't understand?
They did not come in the beginning.
Okay, 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 fine. Okay, so next is Karti Guna. Okay, Veeralakshmi, you can switch off your mic. Okay, okay, fine. Karti Guna, then Mutturaj. Karti Guna, can you give an
Ma'am,
example? Can you give an example?
ma'am, regular is closed, irregular is laid.
Okay, okay, very good. Okay, next is
Thank
Mutturaj.
you.
Yeah, Mutturaj.
Ma'am, regular verb is catch, caught.
Hmm. No, that is not
Irregular verb
regular.
is.
That is not regular. Catch caught is irregular.
Okay, sorry, ma'am.
Hmm. Okay, what about irregular? One example for regular also. Mutturaj, I want one example for regular verb also. Irregular you gave. I want one for regular. Switch on your mic and speak, please.
They're all new to the class. I think maybe you can try with them next class.
Okay. So let me call Meenushri.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
For regular verb, walk, walked,
okay.
and irregular verb, sat and sat.
Sit and sat, you know.
Sit and sat. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can switch off the mic. Yeah, fine. Next is, can I, ma'am? Yes, Sachin. Yeah, are you ready now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Run and ran for irregular.
Okay. Okay, and what was for regular?
Decide and decided.
Okay, okay, fine. Yes, Aradhana.
Ma'am,
Yes,
uh,
Aradhana.
child children for regular,
Hmm?
child children.
We are talking about verb, Kanna. Children, child, and all are nouns. Okay.
Um,
Give an example for a verb, regular verb and irregular verb.
mm,
Ah. Verb, what are verbs?
say, said,
Ah.
and for irregular,
Say, said is for irregular.
and for regular, I think. Mm, touched,
Sorry? Puriyala. Can you repeat?
touched.
You mean touched.
Yes, ma'am.
Touched. It's not touch, it is touch. Touch means
Mm.
todaradu, right? Touch.
Yes, ma'am.
Touched, and the second, what you say, said is for irregular. Okay, fine. Yes, next is Ajit. Yes, do you want, you have another example?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm, you can tell.
Regular is used.
Okay, good.
Regular is ran.
Ran. Okay, fine. Yes, Fawaz. Can you give an example? Now it is mic is not working. Okay, cried in irregular. Uh, Regular is cried. Okay, irregular is sold. Very good. Okay. Next is Jeevaraj. Very easy. You just need to tell only one example. One example for regular, one example for irregular. That's all.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Cooked,
Okay.
reached,
Okay. That
came,
both are
yeah,
for regular.
regular. Come, came, take, took.
Okay. That is for irregular.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very good. Yes. Rajalakshmi,
Thank
can
you,
you
ma'am.
give an welcome? Rajalakshmi, can you give an example? Your mic is off, Rajalakshmi. One example. Okay. Karti Chitra, yeah. Can you give an example for regular and irregular verbs?
Cooked. Rich.
Cooked for what? Regular or irregular?
Regular.
Regular. Okay. For irregular?
Terila ma'am.
Okay. Karthi Chitra, can you please switch off your mic? Karthi Chitra, can you please switch off your mic? Mic off பண்றீங்களா?
என்ன word சொல்றது? என்ன word சொல்றது அதான்? மிஸ் கேக்குறாங்க என்ன word சொல்றது?
Yes, Karthi Chitra, yes. Okay. Walked for regular. For irregular? Can you please switch off your mic? Mic off பண்றீங்களா? Okay. ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், ஒரு கைண்ட் ரிக்வெஸ்ட், நீங்க எங்கேயா வெளியில இருக்கீங்க, ரொம்ப சத்தமா இருக்கீங்கன்னா மைக் மட்டும் தயவு செஞ்சு ஆஃப் பண்ணுங்க ப்ளீஸ். ஓகே, பிகாஸ் இட் கிரியேட்ஸ் a total disturbance. Okay, fine. So next I would like to call Kaviyarasan.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, for regular, participate, participator.
Okay.
Irregular, swim, swam.
Swim, swam. Okay. Yes, Soundarya, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, is risen is the past tense of rice?
Risen is the V3 of rice. Rice, rose, risen. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Next is Lakshmi.
Ma'am, regular is drinked.
Drank. We don't say drinked. Drank. That's irregular.
Okay, ma'am.
For regular?
Taked.
No, took. That is irregular. That is also irregular.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Very good, but good attempt. Okay. Catch, caught.
Cooked, ma'am.
Cooked. That is regular. Very good. Regular la cooked is coming. Okay, fine. Next is Logeshwaran. Those who have answered, you can switch off your mic. Logeshwaran. Okay, Kadiravan. Mallika Arul Selvan.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, regular verb is advised. Irregular verb is speak, spoke.
Very good. Okay. Yes, Neha, I saw your answer. It's correct. Okay. So next I would like to call Poovarasu.
Ma'am, regular maked, irregular ate.
Make made, we don't say maked, that both are irregular only. Okay, made, we don't say maked. There is no word called maked. So
Okay,
as I told, both are irregular verbs. Okay, fine. So next is Rakshan.
Ma'am, enjoyed, slept.
Very good. Okay, Ramasamy. Ramaswamy, can you give an example? Okay, what about Ritesh?
Ma'am, regular cooked.
Okay.
Irregular find.
Find. Okay, very good. Okay. So next is Aradhana.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
She already told, I think.
Okay. I think think yeah, I called her already. Okay, fine. So next is Shweta Sri. Sri. We have 5 more minutes. Okay.
Ma'am, இன்னொரு சொல்றேன் ma'am.
Okay. That is
Okay,
ஒரு
ma'am.
regular verb and ஒரு irregular verb வேணும். Example வேணும். ஒரு irregular verb
Okay,
and
ma'am.
one regular verb.
Ma'am, சொல்லவா ma'am?
Yes. சொல்லலாமே.
Play regular இருக்கு.
Very good.
இன்றளவுக்கு say said.
Say said. Very good. Very good. Okay. Good.
Ma'am.
Yes.
இன்னொரு தடவை சொல்லலாமா?
Yes, Mutturaj, you can tell.
Ma'am, regular verb is finished.
Okay.
Irregular verb is laid.
Laid. Oh, very good. Very good. Okay.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
are coming up with good examples. Very good. And last I have Shweta Sri. Are you there here? Shweta Sri, and after Shweta, it is Tirupati. Today's session was very good.
Ma'am, நான் சொல்றேன் ma'am.
Yes, Veeralakshmi.
நான் சொல்றேன் மேம். visited regular irregular
Visited is regular.
found find
Find சொல்லிட்டு found is
okay ma'am.
okay.
Ma'am, can I
Very good. Yes, Samvara. Yeah.
vertified, fly, flew?
Very good. Super. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, and the last one is Tirupati.
Ma'am,
Yes.
jump.
Okay.
Come going irregular.
Jump is regular. Okay. What about irregular?
Come and going.
Come came. Okay. Come came. It's not going. Come வேற go வேற. Come means வரது, go means போறது. Okay. So for come we say came, and for go we call went. Go, it is went. Yes, Shweta Sri, can you give an example?
Ma'am, irregular verb is played.
That is regular da. Irregular illa. Played is regular. You are adding ed, right?
Run miss.
Run is irregular. Okay, fine. Very good. So I think almost everyone answered. Very happy to see your responses. Okay, so யாரெல்லாம் புதுசா ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களோ அவங்கெல்லாம் கண்ணா you our classes will be interactive. அதானது I would like to just take a minute to speak in Tamil. ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம் மட்டும் சொல்லிடுறேன். our class வந்து it will be interactive. அதானது கிளாஸ் எடுத்து ஜஸ்ட் டீச்சர் சொல்றது அப்படியே நோட்ஸ் எடுத்து எழுதுறது அப்படியே ஸ்கூல் படிக்கிற மாதிரி படிக்கிறது கிளாஸ்ல அப்படி இல்லை. நீங்க உங்களோட ரெஸ்பான்சஸும் எங்களுக்கு வேணும். ஓகே, தட் இஸ் வாட் வி ஆர் எக்ஸ்பெக்டிங். நீங்களும் ஆன்சர் பண்ணணும். சின்ன சின்ன கொஸ்டின்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி கேட்போம். ஆனால் நீ உங்களோட ஆன்சர்ஸ்க்காக தான் வி ஆர் வெயிட்டிங். சரியா? ராகுல், வீரலட்சுமி, ஆல் த நியூ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருமே பயப்படாம ஆன்சர் பண்ணணும். சரியா? இது வந்து ஒரு இன்டராக்டிவ் கிளாஸ். இது ஒரு ஜாலியான கிளாஸா இருக்கு. சரியா?
ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே
மேம்.
Yes, ma'am.
இனிமே எல்லா கிளாஸும் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க. சண்டே 10:15 to 11:30. ஓகே
ஓகே மேம்.
ஓகே
மேம் சண்டே மட்டுமா மேம்?
Thank you. Thank you. All of you come in time. Next class, all of you join at about 10:15. It will be very useful to you. Okay.
மேம் சண்டே மட்டுமா மேம்?
only Sundays. Sunday 10:15 to 11:30.
Ma'am, today's session was very nice.
Thank you. Keep attending. Happy to receive your
Thank you, miss. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, welcome,
very
ma'am.
useful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, miss. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, where are you from?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye. Bye, ma'am.
Good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye,
Good
ma'am.
night, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Today's session was very interesting, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Bye, Neha. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm leaving the meet, Kanna. Next class பார்க்கலாம் சரியா? Bye bye.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.